Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with a growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcasting, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
I pray that my love for you is bigger than what my parents have.
So you must be my daughter's new friend?
Candy, let me ask you a question.
Oh, so this him? This the man that comforts you more than me?
Mama, all men ain't like daddy.
That's not fair!
Rise and grind, wanna show at 9:15 a.m. Monday through Friday, great conversation, guest appearances, 'cause you experience us on the cusp of blowing up. Wake up, wake up. Rise and grind, morning show.
Wake up, wake up. I look like I got a bunch of stuff in front of me. Let's clear that out. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rise and Grind Morning Show. I'm your girl, Lake B. I got Miles Dixon here with me, and I got an amazing guest that we'll be bringing on shortly. We thank you guys so much for joining us today. Let's get this Tuesday started. What's up? What's up?
I mean, nothing. Don't come on me like that.
Don't act like I just came to work by myself today. It's really, really hard to hold a whole show for 2 hours by yourself.
No, it's not. You can talk. You can talk all you want to. Welcome. Hey, Lake, how you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was chilled. You know, life be moving so fast. It was chilled. I had the opportunity to hang out with some college friends, which was really dope. Just an old school house party with no drama. Food, liquor, no drama.
Oh, yeah.
And then, y'all know I'm always talking about things to do in the D. On Sunday, I finally made it to the Tiff Massey exhibition at the DIA.
How was it?
Oh, it was great. I think everybody should see it, especially because you can get to the DIA for free. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any excuse not to.
Right.
And during that time, I looked up and it was Hair Wars going on.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know it was going on. I didn't see any promotions or anything for Hair Wars.
I didn't either.
I just, I mean, and a lot of people
promoting it.
Apparently, a lot of people did because it was packed.
Really?
You know, it really made me feel like I wasn't in the know because, you know, I'll be trying to know all things deep.
Right.
But God led me there, and it was some amazing hair. Wow. I even seen Sean P there.
Wow.
He don't want to talk on the thing, but he here.
Yeah, Sean, your mic is on. I'm just going to cut your mic on. Put on your headphones. We don't want to see your face.
Yes,
right.
We want to see your face. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
A face for radio.
Somebody told me I had a face for radio.
Damn, these are.
Yeah, I
you know that's a diss.
No shit.
Oh, okay.
But it was okay. I'm like, you know.
You got a face for radio.
You know, it's like, but I have a mic and you don't. So I take it. People always find a reason to diss instead of uplift. It's kind of like the Detroit way nowadays. So
it's fun.
Hey,
it ain't fun.
I got thick skin. It's no big deal.
Right. That's how I do it. I got thick skin.
But I will say one thing about the Hair Wars. I remember being young and getting the opportunity to go to like a show or two, but the memories of seeing those flyers and the newspaper and some of the old hairdressers there, Mr. Willie and Mr. Little, like was names that was synonymous with Detroit all over the world. And to see that recreation was great.
What was inspirational to me, and I left, but I saw the video of it, was the guy who do hair. He had his oxygen and still, I said, that's how I want to be, still working.
Still
doing
working.
what I do. And I said, and what's his name was there too, Billy Carson. And me and Nat Morris was talking. He said, Sean, he 80-some years old. I said, wow. Yeah, I said, I didn't know he was. I said, that's the man. I just remember seeing all his stuff back in the day.
Yeah, I seen that oxygen take. I'm like, happy you can't smoke in here.
But he was moving.
But he was moving, and he was actually
in the moment.
And he was getting up and down on a step stool. He did this amazing hairstyle. It was braids coming all out of everywhere. And when we first got there, he just had the braids going. He hadn't added any pieces. And I walked up to him, and one of my girls was like, you should add some squiggly lines. But he was already adding the curls. Right. And I was like, you should add a picture of my grandparents, my mom and my dad, because that looked like a family tree. Wow. But the point, and he was like, you know what, young lady, that's a great idea. Because
nice.
It is a part of our roots. That right there on Sunday, and I appreciate the DIA for allowing the culture to be a part of their establishment, because a lot of times these museums, including the one that I work at, is whitewashed.
But like me and another guy was sitting around thinking, we said, wow, the sadness is this is great, but they wouldn't allow us to be in there back in the day. Right. Yeah. So that was the craziness, and we worked that. Yeah. Come on, right? I'm like, we wasn't even thinking about that.
And listen, I put like this: DIAs mean don't enter.
Okay. And that's the reason DIA don't enter. It was the N and an A bar.
I don't know.
What? I can't stand it here. Good morning, Miss Alice. Good morning, Sean. Oh, you're here. Good morning, Rhea. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, B. Keith and Eandre.
In case y'all don't
Sean,
notice,
thank you for showing up and Talks with Todd.
Right. In case y'all don't know, Shani is not here. She's actually on the screen. And and her of all people. What you say, Shani?
You can't hear me? Good morning, y'all.
No, we could hear you.
Now we can hear you.
I was like, my mic's not even blocked. Don't do that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And you of all people should know how to center your microphone and camera. So
come closer. Tell her to come closer. I'm just messing with
a little closer.
I don't think I'm far. Am I far?
You are far.
And you're not in the center. There you go. Oh, now you worse than me. Now you're all off. Anyway, so we got a special guest in the building today, other than Sean P, because Sean is always here,
and he's special.
And he's definitely
very special.
Very special. We got none other than Miss Renee Dre. What up, though, Dre?
Hi, Miss Renee.
Yo, roll up and roll in here. Good morning to everyone.
Okay, so she's here because we are here, and we're gonna promote the vaginal monologue.
See, this is the reason why no one asked you to talk.
He's so silly.
It's the vaginal. That just sounds diseased. The vaginal. Like nobody want to. They vaginas.
And look, that's how the doctors come. That's how you know you got something like, well, your vaginal area is kind of got bacteria in it. That's how you know when you hear vagina.
Right. So, good morning, Scott. Thank you so much for coming here today. We are going to talk a little bit about the Vagina Monologues that is going on this Sunday at the International Institute at 3 p.m. That is 111 Kirby, and we still have tickets on sale. Now, Miss Drake, have you done this monologue before?
Yes. And by the way, that was a great segment, how y'all brought me in. No music, no nothing. That was pretty much brought me up like how they do at the comedy spots. Thank you very much. You went straight from talking about hair to coochie, so that was perfect.
They was on my case last week because I mentioned I had a hairy coochie. So you was not anymore. I went home and shaved after.
You must have been born in the 70s.
9, but I'm okay
Still
with
there.
it. I'm okay with it.
I like her hair. I like coochie hair.
Don't say her hair. I told you stop letting these people think that you done seen my coochie hair. I don't like that.
I've never seen a coochie hair.
I was about to say something, but I'm not gonna say that.
Thank you.
Sound like hair and coochie. That's all.
It's okay, as he should. So, Miss Drake, you've done this before.
Yes, so this will be my second run with the vagina monologues.
Okay.
I thought you did more than that. See?
No, this will be my second one.
So, can you tell our audience a little bit about the show and why they should come and buy a ticket? Speaking of tickets.
Yes. No, listen, this is a phenomenal play. It was written by Eve Esler. Yeah, you know, I'm not good. Yeah. Don't ask me really to say no names or anything correct because it's not going to come out like that. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, it's honestly a great play. I was introduced to it when it first came out, 96, 97, whenever it may have came out. And I originally thought it was a boring play.
You did?
Honestly, until I got into it, and I brought it life.
Well, one of the things that I noticed researching, I have a part in the monologues as well, and doing my research, watching other people perform it was like a snore fest. I agree, but when I was practicing or being in rehearsals with our sisters. We funny. Yeah. We live. We can turn anything we touch turn into beauty.
Yeah. So
like coochie.
Exactly. So the first time I was in the play, I played the part of the flood, which was in my opinion, an older lady who had an experience where she used the word flood, which we might use the word now as squirt.
Oh.
And she squirted all through his car, this gentleman's car, and got put out of his vehicle. So, yeah, exactly. So, with that being said, that part of it, her experience with sex alone deterred her from having sex. Period. So
I want to squirt on somebody's car,
and it was a perfect.
Wait a minute.
It was perfect for me.
This is the morning show, and like
cereal.
Yeah, it was perfect for me. It was perfect for me because at that time I wasn't squirting at that moment, but I had, and it reminded me of this guy I used to date, also who had a bald head and Why y'all look at Miles?
I didn't look at Miles. For one, Miles is the only
man with a bald head in this world.
He's the only man in the bald head in this room.
I love men with bald heads.
I love men with bald heads.
Because thank God Sean walked out. So yes. So perfect. That worked out like that. So yeah, so once again, that's the whole. If that doesn't make you want to come and see the play, I don't know what would.
So you the squirting vagina?
I was, so not for this particular one. Okay. I'll be a different person this time.
And I will tell you guys, there's about a dozen plus women who are working really hard to put on this production. You shouldn't just come see me or come see
just Renee.
Right. You just come see the amazing talent. It's the beginning of International Women's Month, and I think this is a great way to start off the month to celebrate.
Yes,
absolutely,
definitely.
March is Women's Month.
Yeah, what did you think it was? Last year you was doing business. Remember, I was pissed about that. He we're gonna honor all business, but not the women in business.
That was in October.
I don't know what it was. I said what I said.
I don't care.
Somebody said, "Look at your face," and they laughed. How about that for a conversation? Look at Miles' face. Ha ha ha! You sure is ugly.
No doubt.
I'm amazed. Shani, I'm amazed. Shani, because I'm amazed that when people always say, "Miles, who damn doorbell ringing?"
That might have been mine. But anyway, so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'll turn it off.
Gang.
Anyway,
I can't do that.
What, squirt?
No, the hand signal with like.
Oh, yeah,
you can't do that.
We off that.
We all born in the 70s, so.
Nanu.
And then
is
push
that
the other.
Nanu?
Yes.
No, that's not.
It's Mork and Mindy.
Mork did that?
Yes.
Okay.
You talking about Dr. Spock?
Made it.
I don't know.
All right, she's like, and I don't care.
Look, Drake just high. She like,
I'm not high yet. So
okay, so Miss Alice said,
yeah, that's the problem.
So we have Miss Alice here. She'll be performing the flood, so she can't wait.
Yeah, the flood. When I say I had an amazing time doing that, I had changed my voice. Just so shout out to the next character. Like I had a ball doing that, and I was actually living in that moment. Mm-hmm. So for me to actually have lived in that moment and become that same character was, amazing to me.
Miss Alice, I read I am a squirter, but you said I am the squirter. Like, what is it? Now our numbers are about to go up real. Oh, you say what?
What helps y'all get ready for y'all character? Like, what helps y'all get into character?
What helps?
Yes.
Sex.
No, it depends. It might depend for some people on what role you're playing, but for that one, for me, whenever I get any character that I get into, I generally try to read through my character, and not only my character, I try to read around the other surrounding characters so I can get an idea how their perspective might be of me or even my perspective of them. So that kind of helps me. And, you kind of just want to draw back a little bit from the things that you normally do from just being yourself. But, some people get deep into their characters. I don't get all that deep. But when I played, I ain't gonna lie, when I played the flood, I was all the way in. I was dreaming and doing all types of stuff. Crazy thing. Women, I don't think we really realized. Huh?
Say you was locked in, huh?
I was locked all the way in. I was dreaming about, it's like, without giving away that the next character spot, but it's like a particular person that they have to speak of. And when I did it, I spoke of particular, people at that time too. Mm-hmm. So, I had to really, really visualize that happening. Mm-hmm. And it did.
Well,
I mean, speaking for myself because you're not in it.
Yeah.
No. Why you?
Penis monologue.
Okay, we know that, so. But can we get through this?
I think the penis monologues might be nice.
Please write it.
Shandy,
hard to write.
Y'all so silly.
I'm going.
That's a good one.
Your thoughts might come quick.
I'm not prepared. I'm scared. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Please don't.
Just
enjoy the moment.
Even though the producer here, don't fire me.
Don't be scared. Be nervous. Don't be scared.
One of the reasons why I wanted to do it is because I enjoy the stage. I enjoy the nervousness. I enjoy putting myself in that position because I do get nervous, but it's the accomplishment of getting up there, doing a great job. I mean, I know I'm not going to fail me, which is why I wanted to be a part of it. Unlike being in a film or everybody trying to be in a Tubi movie or anything, it's like when you get the opportunity to be on stage and stand in front of people and you got one shot, that is euphoric.
Yes.
You almost forget that you were up there until after it's over, Yes. So for me, that's what I'm preparing myself for, that accomplishment to say I did it.
And one of the reasons she wrote it, Eve Ensler, is because she wanted regular people to just come in, enjoy the moment of being on stage and telling their story. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's telling the story. So mine started right.
And I actually wanted to write something because I didn't know that this was something that was written.
Yeah,
I started writing about my own coochie when I had
remember we said that we were going to do that at one point. We said that we're going to write our own.
Let's write our own version.
Write our own version.
It's been around. I learned from Frankie Darcell when she says, "Sean, you ever heard of Vagina Monologue?" I'm like, "No, what the hell are you talking about?" And I had to Google it. His show was a play that's been around a long time.
Sean, what made you want to produce it and put it out?
Because he loved coochie.
No, we was Miles, the great engineer.
The clap ain't never been that loud before.
I swear. Y'all sad. Like I said, Frankie Darcell turned me on to the play. I had never heard of it. And then once I started talking and different people were saying, yeah, it's been out and different people done did it and all that. You know, Sherry Shepherd had a thing where she said she was in it with some other people.
It was her and Taraji.
Yeah. But that's how long it's been around. Mm-hmm. And
so next year we'll do Celebrity Vagina Monologues.
We are doing that now. What are you talking about?
Oh, yes. That's what I said.
The majority of the women that you have in there. No.
And next year is going to be Celebrity. You so
loud.
So someone said the Pink Chronicles.
That's another one. I think somebody else did that, but I don't know who.
Yeah, I'm not up on
They
that.
they want to know why you're not on camera. You holding up a flyer. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because I've been on camera so long. That's why. No, also, we're going to be honoring Chantanique's music over on the east side. They are still open.
Are they moving on up?
Yeah. They've been around a long. Well, they do U-Haul now. Are you being sarcastic?
No, but that's fine. You said they was on the east side, but now they
moving on up on the east side. That's funny. With U-Haul.
They have to be at least 40 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been around a long time.
Right.
And they've been a great service to the community, to the people in the industry. And they still going. To them. So shout out to Barry and Joseph.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say my family opened up a record shop in 1980.
What was the name of it?
Future Funk Records.
Where?
And we were on 7 Mile in Greenfield between Prevost and Foyer, right across from the MBD Bank. And it was a penny candy store. Everybody heard. We used to do summer concerts and everything. I say that to say, like, I remember Chantanique still. And they opened it up right before I turned 1.
Wow.
So I'm 46 now. Yeah. So it may have been over 40 years.
Chantanique's been around a long time.
Now, we used to buy records from Donnie Simpson.
Oh,
Simpson records.
On 6 Mile. Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy. I remember somebody actually, I believe, was just speaking about your spot. The record shop. Somebody was trying to
Funk.
Get us all to remember a particular place, and I'm like, I've never
heard of it. Right? Yeah, but I was in the music.
You know where that tattoo place is?
Yeah, right there.
That was us.
That was it.
That whole spot.
Gallery Tattoo.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
It sits right in the center.
Where the hip hop shop used to be.
We were next door to the hip hop shop.
See, I remember the hip hop
shop. And the chitlin spot was right down there.
Still right there.
Wow, it was a chitlin spot?
Yeah, it's still right there.
Never heard of it. I gotta look.
Spot.
I gotta look. Wow.
Eminem, my uncle used to do summer concerts. So like when Eminem first got started, they came and performed. They used to come there and break dance every weekend. He used to play Purple Rain every weekend for the kids. He spent $1,000 on a VHS.
Wow.
So he could have after school movies.
That's crazy.
Speaking of Purple Rain, on March 5th, it's their anniversary.
Right.
And they're playing it in Adobe for the first time in the movie theater.
How many years was for that movie?
I think 40 years. 45.
Yeah.
40.
That's crazy.
And this is the anniversary this March.
Well,
so AMC doing a one night only.
Going to the Purple Rain concert.
She like, I don't know what that means.
One of the people from my school went when I was in middle school. That was crazy.
What'd you say, Shanny?
Right.
Around a while, I'm learning a lot.
She's learning a lot.
Did she ever see Purple Rain?
Hell no.
That's sad.
It was just on TV the other day.
Right. I remember her saying she didn't see something. Yeah.
Shani don't watch movies.
No, she need to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a long music video. How about that? Okay. It's not a movie. It's a music video.
We're working with something now.
Yes. And it's an amazing.
Shani is still 7 years old on her taste buds and her movie selection.
That's sad. Yeah, you got to watch Purple Rain.
She's seen Lion King 100 times.
Well,
anyway,
I've seen Lion King 100 times. Don't be that person.
Your son was watching it like that?
What?
Or you were?
My son wasn't alive when the Lion King came
but
out.
I thought you was making him watch it.
It came out because the Lion King came out. I was 15 years old.
Okay.
So it became a part. That was the first time I was actually second time because E.T. I cried like a baby.
Oh yeah,
when I was 5 years old. But that was like the
E.T.
first.
when I was little.
Yeah, we went to the Mercury.
Okay.
I can remember that day. What, to see E.T.?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
I can't remember what theater I went to.
No.
But my father was asleep and I was watching the movie. I'm like, E.T. going home? Daddy, E.T. going home? I remember saying that to him. And that's funny. And I done been to the show plenty of times with my son. I'll be knocked out sleep. Be like, okay, hurry up, movie. Hurry up, movie. Get over with.
I like going to the drive-in so I can fall asleep and wake up.
Wow. Yeah.
And start back over.
And nobody there. You like,
yeah. Oh, I done did that before. Woke up in the morning time, like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
I'm like, I didn't sleep that long.
And then they play the movie until the last person go. I'm like, how
that's
crazy are y'all?
Yeah.
Everybody said, hey,
Fort Miami.
Yeah, and that's it. And I promised myself this summer that I was going to patronize the Fort Wyoming more, so they won't close it on us.
They was talking about closing that?
No, but anytime people stop showing up, you know what I'm saying? That's how we lose so many businesses.
They have plenty of people who show up every day.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
People who can't afford hotels?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wow,
Right, so
they ain't think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's where I used to go.
Wow. Yeah, funny.
And, Sean, it's
Sneaking in the trunk.
It's the best place to have a vagina monologue. Okay, let's go right into today's topic. Today's topic is dating outside your comfort zone. Should you do it?
What does that even mean, Shani?
So dating outside your comfort zone would be maybe going for people that you wouldn't typically find off rip attractive, or that's somebody that's not your type, but they just come in and things just flow. That's what I mean, dating outside of your comfort zone. Something that you wouldn't normally do. Maybe it's, hey, I don't want to date a guy with kids, but then a guy with maybe 1 or 2 comes in, change your life. So that's what I'm saying. Just dating outside your comfort zone. Should you or would you do?
Well, Shani, it sounds like you're coming from a personal perspective, and you cannot mix personal with business.
I tend to find out that I date outside of everybody else's. I date outside of everybody else's comfort zone.
What you mean?
Like later on, my friends tend to tell me, like, girl, you knew he was ugly. Girl, you know he like why would you? He was sassy. Like, but I got a habit of liking who like me.
There you go.
So
But you should.
So you guys would date outside your comfort zone?
No, I don't be knowing it at the time.
Yeah, I don't think that you know at the beginning.
I mean, I think you do, because hypothetically speaking, whenever I try to kick it with a light skinned girl, that's outside of my comfort zone.
How?
Because I don't mess with. Like,
Well, why would you? So why would you then?
Because she might have the right thing that I was looking at or looking for at that time.
So that's not out of your comfort zone.
That is. I mean, okay, any woman with a good brain.
Oh, you talking about head?
No, it's
But she's thinking correctly.
Right.
She's out of your zone.
No, I think first of all, I don't be attracted to light skinned women.
So wait, hold on, back up.
So you're not attracted to light skinned women,
Right?
Like, are you saying that you're not attracted to light skinned women who know how to think?
No, I was joking.
I mean, but we don't know what you're saying though.
All right, so we back.
Who you talking to? The fuck? Now you act like Joe Budden. Now y'all want to go about that?
I'm just saying, look, be clear. Like, we have guests here.
Okay.
They trying to understand. They guests today.
My aunties
Would y'all like a
looking and they
banana?
light skin.
We didn't offer y'all any refreshments.
You calling me something? That's how you do it.
Right.
Black History Month.
Would you like a banana?
She like, you want your little monkeys here? Take a banana.
Okay, Shani, have you watched Remember the Titans?
No,
we're not. Hold on,
Wow.
and we're not talking
And
about
what does that have to do with
What's
you
the
brought up
topic?
the-
We're talking about a topic, sir.
It just came up to me.
So that's why you need to have that podcasting day, so people like him.
Hey, it just came to my mind, and I shouted
stick
it
to the
out.
subject.
I will say that as far as as you get older,
Yes.
I think you become more accepting of
Open-minded,
things that you wouldn't have accepted before. So
I don't
when
think-
so when I was 19, I lost somebody because I refused to accept them and their child.
Okay.
You know, I thought like
they 19.
19 years old, that's too much for me. You got a baby on the way. I don't want no parts of that. But now at 46, it's like, and I got a young child. You know, most of the people I'm interested in are grandparents, but they aren't. Like most of my friends are grandparents. You know, but it's like, well, I could be a little more accepting to.
Yeah, so.
Y'all are silly.
Yeah, so.
Most of my friends got AARP cards.
But like Miss Alice said, she's 55 with a 17-year-old. She says she don't have time or patience. You know what I mean? But like I found myself, I'm with somebody with 7 kids. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Right, he does. Yeah.
Like
She
they
like, wow.
still babies?
No, they not babies. They all adults.
Oh, well, that don't matter.
Does it not?
Okay, so it matters.
The way the phone fucking ring, it matters. Like every time we get in a
Unless they
conversation,
still
one of them
asking
fuckers.
for. Now that's my thing. Hold on. Let me take off these because that's my. I can't deal with that. My daddy, he loved me.
A man with kids or
With kids who still asking for
Not
stuff
asking,
and they
just calling. That's like 7 people. That's 7 people.
Oh damn, that's bad.
That, like, you know, I call my mama every day. So if you got 7 people calling you every day,
so quit calling your mom every day. So they'll quit calling every day.
Never not.
So that's the same thing.
Exactly.
So, but as long as they're calling, I don't know. So my whole thing,
you like calling and asking and begging,
yeah,
like that's,
begging, like asking for something every single day, and that nothing wrong with it. Nothing in a sense is wrong with it. But when you're dating, and I just feel like some people just don't want their parents to get none.
Well, Scott said most women. I can't stand guys. I'm sick of you, Scott, already. He said most women don't date outside their comfort zone until they almost reach lonely or the desperation point.
Oh no!
Or it finally kicks in.
I can agree with him.
Yeah, I can
You
agree.
do?
I can agree with him too.
I'm not.
Because it's
I'm
never
not on a never do that. So forget what he's saying, and he's absolutely incorrect.
No,
Nobody likes you, Scott.
Because most women, they're going to get to the point where they don't care about none of that. They're not going to date you at all.
No,
That period.
That's what he
The only
said.
thing,
That's what he said.
is no desperation in it because we're not dating you. Period.
Right.
And not saying him.
He said lonely or desperate.
Listen, once again, the words coming out of my mouth, they're not going to date. Period.
But I'll say this, like, I definitely didn't choose my situation off of loneliness or desperation.
Right.
I found a great person. Yeah. And I realized throughout my years that I was possibly blocking my blessings.
Yes.
But, you know what I mean? By saying, like, I don't date somebody who does this, or I don't date somebody who like this. Do's this. I said, do's this. She be blocking her blacks
all the time.
Because she be like, he light-skinned it. She like, you don't like light-skinned dudes either, do you?
No.
I don't, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what's
she got the Drake effect.
Is right there.
Well,
it's the Drake effect.
No, she makes personal business. Don't do this
I'll
shit again, Shannon. What you like?
She said she tired of talking to you. Bye.
Oh,
bye.
All of us?
Damn, you could have told us you had a time.
Bye.
I'm sorry. It was, yeah.
We got started late. I understand.
Oh, you gotta leave.
But it does. I think people like body types. You know what I seen the other day, or I read that a man wrote that a man would prefer a 7. You know, that treats him well. Because most guys aren't really concerned about the makeup and this, that, and the other, and the artificial bodies and things like that. And people think that you guys make that up. Like you just want to hit something.
No,
you know?
I mean, no. It's not about hitting. It's about being peaceful and having a good mindset when you go to bed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And laying next to someone you really care about. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And they understand that you got gout. And I'm talking about my type of woman.
Okay, so a woman that understands you have gout.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Could be ugly as long as she laying next to you.
I don't care how anyone looks, as long as they treat me right and as long as they like me.
But if she's light skinned,
that would have to be God sent.
So when we say out of our comfort zone, so like I said about the dating, like with kids, with grown kids. I mean, I'm at that age where I would expect your kids to be grown.
Right.
I would expect.
People say that to me too, and I think those who have dated me and accepted my son was dating outside of their comfort zone.
How old is your son?
He's 13 now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We've been. I've been a single mom for 10 years, so especially when people have left me because of the age of my son.
But
no, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think that men. I don't know.
I do like light skinned guys. I did like light skinned guys. Shut up, Calvin. I was talking to you.
Hybrids too.
But
dating out our
what about interracial? Can you ever date? Because men could date an Asian chick.
No,
can you? I know a lot of guys from the military. That's all they brought home.
I don't want nothing because that's what they was at.
And married.
Married and took care of.
That's what they was at.
I get that, but we were home waiting.
Right.
We were still home waiting.
Yeah, but his penis was hard in Korea. So what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say is that I only want a black woman. I don't want none other than a black woman. If she's not black, I don't want her. And it's because of ethnic background. Mm-hmm. Because I know how her family gonna feel about me. I know how they gonna look at me. Mm-hmm. When it comes to other races, the black man is the lowest on the totem pole. So
really?
Hell yeah.
So what about you as a black woman?
I don't really care, but I love black men. Light skin, dark skin, brown skin. I like that.
I never was interested in seeing like an Asian man naked. I don't even know what that body type looked like. But it's some fine ones on TV. Mm-hmm. Like Shang-Chi from the Marvel movie, like he could get it. Or it's one on Grey's Anatomy, he can get it. Bruce Lee could have got it.
Nah.
I would have loved some Bruce.
I would like Bruce because I like just a man that's kind of like strong and dominant, but
Jackie Chan even went through a cute phase.
Well, here's something Miss Alice said. She said only want to date alpha masculine healed men. Well, y'all gonna be waiting for a long time.
For what kind? For healed men.
Healed men. Alpha masculine healed man. What does that mean?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Right.
If he's a man, he is not healed.
I believe that.
He's sick.
No, he's not sick.
No.
But he might be going through a journey. No. Most men go through journeys at
all life.
Yeah.
No, especially after the age of 35.
Mm-hmm.
They go through a journey. And it's just like the rites of passage. You have to go through this in order to survive, because the best time you're going to have in your life is from 55 and higher.
Right.
But you got to get there, right? Mm-hmm. And most people don't know this torment. I tell people, if you believe in sleeping for 20 years of your life, you got to believe in healing for 20 years of your life.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
I believe
that's something we have to
deal
really
with that.
we have to think about.
So I had I will meet gentlemen who complain about their girlfriends or significant, whatever the case may be. And generally, they're like what they say they're looking to move on. Mm-hmm. So with that, they'll say things like, she can't do this, she can't cook, she can't do this, she smoke a lot, she drink a lot, she not, focus. She only want to do this. I want that. And I'm always just like,
how did you get there? How did you get there?
How?
Like,
because you had to have known the first day.
The vagina monologue? Is that the vagina monologue?
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to.
And then I'm like, so you want her to change, but you don't want to be.
Listen,
you don't want to change.
It says when man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. A man who cannot becomes a husband until he finds a wife. And all I keep trying to tell people is that the way God set life up is we have to pay attention on food.
How many wives some of these men gonna find?
Some of them we never get there because here's the thing.
And then
women get fallacies. Women give us false expectations a lot of times, right? And it's not y'all fault. Y'all was just born. Y'all was raised that way. You know what I mean? Make sure your hair like this. Make sure this like that, right? Instead of no, he need to know you got naps. And it's okay that you got naps.
No,
and it's okay for a man to accept you for who you are.
I realize, and I am so grateful for being over 40 and then becoming over 45, and I look forward to the next step because the acceptance of me has become more comfortable. You know what I mean? If I'm home, I'm chilling. I'm chilling in the onesie.
There you go.
I mean, you know what I mean? And I definitely want to be accepted for who I am. Because if we are married, what movie was that? What was it? Happy to be Nappy, I think it was. And she would get up every day and put on her makeup and lay next to her man like this. Like never. I can't even remember that.
Yeah, but
I would never remember to get up before you because I pee too much. Like when I go pee, I be trying to get back and forth.
I got bad bladder.
I sleep in a CPAP. I need him to know all these ailments. Like I come with a machine.
Alice, you are right. You will be waiting, baby, because she said a man that can self-heal.
But what do you mean she is right? Because she didn't say nothing about her being waiting.
No, she said I'll wait. A man that can self-heal. So a man can never self-heal. I keep trying to tell and explain people. That's why man needs family. Family is his healing source of life.
I believe that.
So most people don't get it. And that's why we have more single women in this day and age than ever. I ain't never meet so many single women ever in my life. I swear to God.
You don't think that's a generation thing? Because
No.
And going back to that, because people will not date outside of what's comfortable to them.
Listen.
You know, because we got too many options.
The only reason why my family is single is because their husbands passed away.
Oh, yeah. But
And same with me. You know, my fiance passed away. I know why. Why just? I don't believe in that generational.
Me neither.
Because why?
Yeah.
Why? You just.
I just see more and more. I see less women married. Do you think it's because of what Miss Alice saying, like a man got to be healed, so this and the other?
Yes, but she is never healed. And
that's what I'm saying.
How you know she ain't healed? You don't know that lady?
I ain't talking about her. I do know Alice. I do know Alice, but I ain't talking about her. But what I am saying is, women demand things that they of men that they don't have of themselves.
No, that may be so, but just like in the same case, what you just said is the same thing I said when I went into the segment about it. The gentleman who I speak of say the same thing. She can't do this. She can't do this. But what are you doing, sir? Because the only thing that you're saying is, I want a house. I want to build.
He's a mama's boy number one. You talking about?
You think that's a mama's boy?
Hell yeah, I guarantee.
But it's not just one particular man. It's several men.
Are they mama's boy?
I don't know one way or another, and I haven't even got to that because these aren't the men that I'm dating. These are just general speaking. But just like what I told them, like, you have to heal. You can't say what you want if you can't be the same person. And that's like what I had to tell them. Just 1 second. Like, when I got to the point of, when I dated, my fiance before he passed, it was years before I was able to date and get to the person who made me most happiest, and I would assume I made him most happiest too. But it was like what I said to him, it was
back. Go ahead.
Several things that I knew about myself and didn't know about myself leading into that. So I'll just give one example. One example for me was I didn't allow. Dang, you all right?
Shannon, you okay?
You okay?
Man down.
You back in your comfort zone? Get in the zone.
Okay, I had to learn how to let a man be in control because I was so used to me being me. I'm making this. I'm going to work here. I'm taking care of my. I'm all of these faces for me and my daughter. So when it came to a man dating me, I only gave him as much as 2 feet.
Right.
Instead of giving him a whole leash to do what he needed to do and leave me along the way. So once I got to understanding that about myself, I worked through that, and I just so happened to find a man, or a man found me who wanted one of, at least, to not only be a leader, but also have someone who was willing to take control when he needed to be led as well.
I'll tell you one of the craziest things from a woman's standpoint. We ask and we ask and we ask for somebody to be brought in our lives. And then it becomes very uncomfortable when they want to take care of you.
Yeah.
Or want to listen or understand you or be supportive. You know what I mean? And I think especially for my situation, being brought up here in the city, I lived in a home with 2 women. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a man in a home. So everybody worked. And the women in my family are breadwinners. They're strong, And then we grew up in a family business. My uncle was there, but it was like we worked and worked and worked. So when you find somebody who want to come in, they partially want to take care of you emotionally, spiritually, physically, you know what I mean? You start to push them away because you don't even know that you're uncomfortable until you're not used to it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, how do you train yourself to stay? What the hell is that I'm hearing? Is that you?
Right. That's what I'm trying to understand.
That's Shanny? Shanny, look at that. She like, I ain't doing nothing.
Because I ain't got it. Right.
So I digress. See, this is the reason why I can't do movies. People I get fired. But scene, I'm back. So one of the things that really is an issue is that how do you not run those type of people away? And I think sometimes we get in the relationship and we realize that we're out of our comfort zone. Because I remember falling in love with a heavyset guy, kind of nerdy and everything. And I didn't know until the first time he kissed me that there could actually be passion there. Like he was soft, his lips was soft, he was soft with me. You know what I mean? And the whole time I was like, like this ain't who I want to show up with. What I'm saying? You gonna get on top of me, you gonna smash me. I ain't know he had them arms to keep from putting all that weight on me. He knew he was big all his life. I didn't know that though.
I believe.
Wait till it's hell.
Yeah.
Waiting to smash.
What you say, Jan?
He'll keep her warm in the winter.
She's gonna hear shit keep you warm in the winter.
Hot in the summer.
What I would say is, shout out to Mika Smith. Mika Smith, I can tell you've been hurt.
Was she married? She said, what did she say?
No, she been hurt before.
I bet she been hurt before. What did she say? Nobody likes you.
That man's want her to do all the work, see the healing, etc. He don't want to do anything to move the relationship forward. So
she's talking. She's referring to the guy.
No, I know that, but the truth is, we
once again, I'm not dating these people.
Yeah.
These are just people who just want to talk to me about their problems.
But I know that guy
because I want to listen.
I mean, I don't know that guy, but
I want to listen and I want to judge them.
Right? You can't. But here's the thing about judging.
No, I'm teasing. I'm not judging. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Honestly,
the truth of the matter is, when it comes to men, we don't have the patience with men, right? We only have patience with women because women are a delicate flower, right? Well, and really, that's bullshit.
But how do you learn that? Every man I know.
I'm gonna show you how I learned it. because I am one. And
I'm not asking you how did you learn it, because you're speaking on it. I'm saying, as a woman, how do you learn that men need to be cared for?
Because you start listening.
I'm about to say,
you have to listen.
I just thought you said because I cut him off. I don't want to listen to him.
No, and I'm sorry, but that's just why these men can come to me.
You because you want to listen.
Because I'm going to listen,
Yeah.
and I'm going to care about what they have to say.
And they shooting their shot at the same time.
And they are. They are definitely shooting their shot. But when I tell them what's the truth, then they feel like they're being judged. And I'm not judging. I'm just telling you how I'm caring for you, my brother.
Yeah, but see, at the same time, here's the thing. When people call you and ask you for advice, first ask them, do you want to hear the truth? Because if you don't want to hear the truth, get off my phone. Because if they not coachable, it don't make no difference. It don't make no difference who they are. They just wasting your time.
Well, I'll tell you, it's easier to listen to a friend or be there, supportive, and listen to their story. I've often told numerous of guys that I've been dating, like, if you were my friend, I could probably hear you better.
Yeah.
But when you're doing this to me, it makes me feel real uncomfortable, and I don't want to be here.
Well, what does it make you feel uncomfortable? Because some of the things that you might have to realize that they did it with the misconception of you. See, a lot of men,
I don't know what that means.
Meaning, a lot of times men make mistakes on who they think you are or what they think you can handle. Hypothetically speaking, when I was in the community,
what community was that?
The swinger community.
What did y'all swing on?
These nuts. No, but when I was in the swinger community, a woman, you would think that a woman.
Why everybody out of the swinger community now that I want to join? It's like, I'm just joking.
Derm was gonna be like, hey. So no, but seriously, you would think that they can handle certain things, right? In reality, they really got into it because they thought you were into it, right? But at the same time, men and women have a communication gap and a disconnect at the same time. You feel me? You might say, Miles, I want to make sure when you come in the morning, can you take out the garbage, right? Yeah, I came in the morning, but I ain't left back out neither. But you come downstairs, now the garbage is there, and you bitching at me because I ain't take out the garbage. It's a communication gap. The disconnect come in when you bitch about it, and you have the same body to take it out and say, baby, next time, I need for you to take out
as soon as you get in the house.
As soon as you walk up in the door because of garbage man. So but
I ain't gonna do that.
Exactly.
You take out the trash like you're supposed to.
Why does that have to be a thing when you know when trash day is every week?
But
because they're just like kids, and not no disrespectful to men, but it's just like a kid. You know every week. I don't know for women, but we'll say dishes. Every week we got to do the dishes. All right, when we come home, we want to go and use the bathroom. We want to go play in our hair. We want to do our homework. But mama like, goddamn it, I need to cook. So why would you do all of those other things? But in your mind, you're like, no, I needed to do my homework first, because if I don't do this homework, I'm not going to be able to process it.
So Shani, let me put
they not adults.
Hold on, wait a minute.
In some cases,
hold on, we are adults. However,
in some cases,
what I would say
that's
is
why.
Let me go directly to the point. I said I'm gonna take it out in the garbage in the morning, meaning I'm not gonna let it. I ain't let the garbage man pick it up before it goes. I just take it out before you went to work, and you were so disappointed on the point of where I need it out before. I don't want to touch the garbage, and I don't want to do that, and that's cool. So you don't have to touch the garbage, baby. I'm gonna take it out. It's gonna get in the garbage can.
You know what? I had the same conversation with my son last week, and the garbage man came early, and guess who had garbage in her trash for 2 weeks? Me. Because my son I just do it when you wanted me to. I normally do it before school, and I'm like, but I asked you to do it last night. And then the garbage man decided that he wanted to be overzealous and overachieving his job and came through at 7 a.m.
Right.
Now my son looking like,
No. And
so
you know what I had my son do? His ass would have been wheeling that garbage can to the next goddamn gas station.
Right.
Throw that shit in the garbage.
Yeah, but to the
next block.
So, we have a caller. Hi, caller.
Sorry, Mika.
Good morning, folks.
Oh, Dorian.
Good morning, Dorian.
Good morning.
Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dorian.
I would love to see, we have all these different flexes, what we call these different trends in our community. I would love to see us have flexing going to see psychiatrists, because we're a collective of damaged, traumatized people walking around as adult-sized children with trauma issues that we lash out either violently or we shut down. And I would love to see if we would embrace sitting on someone's couch in group session, getting this out healthy, because as a collective, we are so far from each other right now. Currently, this is the crisis of existence at this point. Our enemy is the black woman. Our enemy is the black man. This is how we see the world. Everyone is trauma. No one wants any, leadership. We say we want leadership, but we won't accept it. We say we want to do better, so we don't do it. So here we are, 2025. We've allowed a dictator to take over. And we are no close. If something was to happen right now in the United States, where it would become where we would have to protect each other, we would probably kill each other trying to get over to the other side.
I don't believe that.
I do.
Well, I don't care what you believe. I just said what I believe.
I don't care what you believe.
And so what? I know you are, but what am I? I agree with you partially, Dorian, but at the same time, you have to believe in sitting on somebody's couch. I personally don't believe in counseling. I don't. I don't believe.
Get out.
What'd you say, Shannon?
I believe what you put in is what you get out, and I don't think people take it seriously, or they just do what they need to do within that hour of therapy or whatever the case may be, and they don't use those tools outside.
Right, they're not doing the work.
Right.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not saying that you need a counselor to guide you through your life. No. They're just going to set the guardrail of learning how to express yourself. So get that stuff unbottled, because once we unbottle it, you can continue to live your life. Once it's off your chest, it's almost like confessing to something.
Right.
There's a lot of trauma that is going on just sitting in that room that will never be discussed with someone if they feel uncomfortable. Right? So the best time to express that, just to get the guardrails going so you can start healing. I'm not saying you have to stay in counseling. No. You get what you give out of it, but you have to do the work, like Shane said.
I have a question for people who believe in counseling.
What makes you think that they're a counselor?
Right. Oftentimes, doesn't the counselor suggest that you take that trauma and issue and make it right, or talk to the people who's causing it, or getting those things off your chest, or doing that walk?
No,
they tell you to keep it to yourself and hold it in?
They don't say.
Or let it go?
No, there is no, first of all, letting anything go when you're running from it. This is, you know what I see black folks doing?
What we do?
We run from our fears. We always try to escape every day, whether it's alcohol, foods, drugs. I'm going to take a trip to go sit on the beach and waste thousands of dollars, but my financial situation is terrible.
That's not running.
Oh, well, yes, it is.
Y'all full of shit.
What is it called?
It's called a vacation.
No.
It is just a vacation. And I suggest vacations over therapy.
Of you need to go and decompress in some other places. But how is it that you're going to run when you come back? Wherever you go, your problems will be there.
So
I believe because I see it. Because people, when you are a collective of people, and you are just a consumer to the world, that is your only work to them, other than them locking us up and making us pick cotton again and be slaves.
See,
we're just no. Hear me out.
Oh, okay.
If you're just a consumer and you don't financially have anything, and everyone is the problem except you, that's running from your problems. That is no accountability at all. And I see it. And you don't have to take a vacation. That could be part of it. That's why I say all drugs, food, just escapism.
But this is the issue I have. I see people go to counseling and they leave and jump right in the bottle.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? Like they're not fixed.
So they're not true. They don't want to put it in the work.
But like Ms. Brooks said, most people aren't honest when they go to counseling.
I know.
You know, they just want to tell everybody they got a therapy down. I mean, they like, I go to a therapist. You need to heal yourself.
That's because of the misconception, and that's because just like church, like they say, the bad people go to church. What are you getting out of it if you're doing all the sin in 6 days a week and then you come here on Sunday to get your salvation?
But you're
still not facing your issues.
But that's my point with a lot of people. When you go to therapy, when you change your life habits, when you do all these things, you shop at different places, whatever you decide to do to better yourself, it is for self. It is not for clout. It's not for bragging. First, we need to realize how we do the work internally. How do we take care of those things with the people it truly affects? Not telling people, well, this is what you need to do to be better. This is what I'm doing to be better, because ultimately you have one life to live. And that life is yours and yours only. And then you go and you take those issues that you have, that damage, and you make it right with those that you need to make it right with.
Well,
and a lot of times, you know, going back to why people are uncomfortable and this thing and other, because it's things that happen inside your home. But people are so busy talking outside their home to different people, telling them what they need to do, that they still is negating the fact that they ain't healed. And then the money gonna run out. Like I heard Steve Harvey say, this lady went to therapy for 25 years. Yeah. Well, therapy ain't working. You shouldn't have to do nothing for 25 years.
Well, here's the truth. Here's the truth.
Whose truth?
I'm about to say.
Here's my truth.
No. If there's a problem in your home and you're the common denominator, 9 times out of 10, you're the problem. And if you're the problem, you need fucking help. And a therapist is the only thing that can possibly help you outside of that home.
They might just need Jesus.
And Jesus don't always work. Jesus take breaks, apparently Monday through Saturday.
So how easy it is for you to prove my point?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All we came on here to talk about was dating outside of your relationship. I don't know how we got here. How did we get here? And no disrespect to you, Dorian. No disrespect.
In mental health.
Yeah.
How?
Because
what does dating outside of your own comfort have to do with mental?
That is mental.
How? I'm asking a valid question. No jokes allowed.
Here's why.
I can't hear Shani. Shani just said something. Hold on, Doria.
I think it's mental because you're changing your perspective on how you're choosing to look at things.
So why would you need to go see a therapist for that?
No, we wasn't talking. No,
well, not necessarily.
That ain't how that question came about. You wasn't keeping up. So
I'm with her, so I must be back here.
Both of y'all are time out.
Then shit, this show is over.
There's a couple ways you can listen, but when you listen to respond, you won't hear exactly what someone's trying to tell you.
I don't know what you're speaking of, sir, because I believe that I'm totally healed. And not totally healed because I'm still living. So there will always be something new brought to me. Always. I do respect the things that you're speaking of, and I believe that some people do need to get some type of counseling in some places. So once again, when I asked the question, I just wanted to see that if I am or am I not on topic?
No,
if we're speaking of...
No, we're going into the fact that a lot of things people don't look at what's going on mentally with them in order to either get out of their comfort zone. That's how.
That's not no.
Oh, so
I mean, it's a good explanation of how we got here, but that's not.
So how did we get here?
Dorian called.
No,
he started talking about people going to therapy.
He said that we needed therapy.
I wanted to answer the question, right?
What was the question, Dorian?
You asked me what is the correlation with mental health and picking and being in your comfort zone, dating outside the comfort zone. Well,
I did.
I'm saying she just asked that, but that's not how the call started.
No, the
call started from me saying a general statement that we, as a collective of people, have so much trauma.
Yes, exactly.
We will flex Cardis, Cokes.
No, we do not. Not everyone.
We won't flex mental health. But you clearly, there are a lot of us in our community that are suffering from mental illness, and you see it every single day.
And he was
saying, hey, let's not address it. Let's keep it on the low. Let's keep saying I'm healed, I'm self-healed, or I don't need any kind of guidance at this point. Because guess what? Anybody that comes from no kind of guidance will look at things.
Excuse me, sir. Now you're trying to take one below the belt. That was not what was said. No, because now you're speaking directly to me because I asked you a direct. Excuse me. Pardon me, because this is a talk show and you call here and you've been on the phone for more than 5 minutes as a caller, and I am the guest. So once again, I asked you, why did you perceive the conversation that we, whomever it might be, as a nation, as a whole, black people, white people, Asian, as everyone, because not only black people go through this.
I can't concern myself with
when you say, how? Because if we're dating outside of our comfort zone, for some, the comfort zone might be dating outside of your race.
Okay.
And to say that someone that has no type of guidance, I don't know if you're speaking directly to me or not. I don't know. So I'm just asking a question. The question once again was posed. How did we get to the point of saying that we need counseling for dating? And it might be mental. We might get down to the breakdown of that. So once again, in the beginning, we said, what is out of your comfort zone?
Well, the whole thing was, and y'all can go back and look at it. We were saying, Lake said it, you said it, Shady said it. It's certain things that we don't like about people. No,
I didn't ever say that.
It's not about you. It was us. She said that wasn't her type of guy. Shady said she don't like light-skinned guys.
I never said what type of guy I liked or not.
It wasn't about you. That's what he was saying.
No, but you just said, I said it, Lake said it, and Shani said it.
No, you said things that you don't like about somebody, didn't you?
No, sir. I never.
You never said nothing?
No. One thing, the only thing I said was a man with grown kids still calling. I don't think that's a mental thing.
So what I'm saying is, it might be because it might be due to some. Listen, it might be due to you just said she didn't listen. That's what men like. So listen for a second. What I'm trying to say is, he was saying it takes certain types of traumas, certain traumas that we have in our life that triggers shit like that.
And I get the triggering part. Yeah. And I get that. And the only thing that I was saying is that you don't necessarily have to sit on somebody's couch. Everybody, 6 billion people, 8 billion, however, don't have to go sit on somebody's couch to recognize that is from past trauma. That's just recognizing that I made a mistake back in the day dealing with somebody who always had people begging around them, and I don't like it anymore.
I don't think that my statement has anything to do with mental. I think that I just don't want to be bothered with the man who has kids who still calling, begging for something when you know that your daddy in the bed about to get his ding-a-ling probably
sucked on
wet, super wet, and you're calling because you.
I think something triggering you right now.
No. and because your mama done said call your daddy.
You're right.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with mental.
Going back going back to the comfort zone, and I think a lot of times, like Shani said, doing the work. You know, we may have mental blockage or something.
I'm so glad I'm not engineering today.
No, geez. You know, I don't know. I'm reading the comments, and everybody is like a 50-50 thing. Some people are saying yes, do therapy. Other people are saying therapy is like,
how did we get to therapy when we're talking about
dating outside
of our race?
Because Dorian had brought up, I just said.
How did he bring it up? He wasn't the commentator of the comment.
It wasn't about being the commentator. He had brought up the reason why we date outside of our a lot of us don't date outside of our comfort zone because of past traumas.
No, he said black women and black men hate each other.
Yeah,
which to me, that would bring a case up to date outside of your comfort zone, because if we hate each other, why wouldn't you go? When I see people with white women or white men, I'd be like, oh, they don't like black people. That's just me. Y'all know how I feel. But I'd be like, black people ain't your comfort zone apparently, because you over there eating potato salad with raisins in it, like the kids' hair ain't combed because nobody know how to take care. The grease is too greasy, the water is too wet. You don't know how to comb this baby's hair because they be trying all different things, and the baby's hair still be effed up. If it was nappy, you could braid it, but now that it's not nappy, you can't brush it. You know. Okay, I digress.
I was just letting you
no,
go,
but I'm just saying.
I was just showing you.
Yeah, you need some mental health.
I need some. You
need to go sit on. Shani, go get her a couch.
But you know what? I sit in this chair every Tuesday, and I speak my truth. And I'm real with the audience. I'm real with the panel that sit here, and I'm not hiding anything.
Yeah,
I'm not running from that.
But you got to remember two things. What's in you is not inside of someone else.
But that's why I say everybody doesn't need a couch.
It's not about everybody.
But he said everybody.
No, he said everyone. But no, he wasn't speaking about us.
No, he was.
I'm anybody, not everybody. I'm somebody.
I'm an NFB.
Everybody needs someone.
I'm an NFB.
Everyone needs someone to talk.
I'm no fucking buddy. Literally, I'm not. So I do want to date outside of my comfort zone. So if any man is out there that's outside of my comfort, call me. Hey, jump in the DM. I've been single for a while.
Is that because you're lonely and desperate?
And I need some therapy.
And you're lonely and desperate.
And please bring me to your couch.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. If we want to heal, let's go to the couch.
The only healing I need is on my feet because they hurt.
I know this plantar fasciitis is killing me too.
No, shout out to Dorian. We appreciate your call. No. Now
somebody say you don't have to date outside of your comfort zone because it's a waste of energy and coochie juice.
Yeah, it is. So now what do y'all have to say?
Now
is this mental?
Do you think it's a waste?
I might be going through a mental. What is it called?
Dating outside of your comfort zone. Do you feel like that's a waste of time?
I think anything outside of your norm. I think anything outside of your norm is better for you. It's helping.
Now, my biggest fear was always.
Even if it doesn't work out, it can always be a lesson.
A lesson.
I don't go into things.
It can be preparation for you getting.
Yes.
But Shani,
gotta go through a few.
But Shani, that used to be my issue with dating white men. My fear was that I would become comfortable and end up in a white family. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't go into every relationship thinking it's going to end. I never operated that way. That's why I don't have a lot of relationships. I date for permanency. So if I date a white, no, I didn't want no white babies.
But what you just said about, I believe also.
I'm sorry.
That's why, I had, an opinion, but not much of an opinion on this subject. I believe that if you do date outside of what you might call outside of your comfort zone, it's definitely a lesson. Now, when I'm honestly teasing when I said that I don't like men who have grown kids who still beg. I still call my daddy and beg for stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm really honestly teasing, but at the same time, there is a lesson. There's definitely a lesson, not only for myself, but maybe for someone else who's out there listening to us right now.
Right.
Like, you don't have to call your dad at 9:00 and ask him, can he send you some money for an Uber? You don't have to. You could have called him at 6:00 in the afternoon. And I don't know, whatever the case may be. We all have different reasons for calling our parents for when we feel best needed.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, if you have your parents in your life, call them as much as you can.
Now, exactly, exactly. But here's my thing. I've learned to call my parents at times when I feel like I'm not gonna put a stress on them, because I'm out late. I do a lot of things. So if I call my parents late, they're gonna probably think something's wrong. So I try to call them, during the morning times when it's less stress level for them.
Now, on the subject of children, because I know a lot of women who have children that do not have children, that do not like the interaction between dating a man and their relationship with their children. And people have told them they're wrong for feeling that way. Like, if that man got a kid and she calling him, then she should be able to call her daddy anytime she wants. But it's not for me, because I don't even have a kid. But people will tell you over and over again that you're wrong for feeling that way because you're not a parent. But it's like, okay, if you don't want that in your life, that doesn't make you wrong. Just because it's right. And my son will always forever be able to use me. And I ask people now, like, not use me, but call on me and things like that.
No, he should be able to use me.
Okay, however you look at it. I talk to people now and be like, okay, so if my son goes to work every day and he is taking care of himself, he's a good, respectable guy, and he's 25, how do you feel about him still living at home? A lot of men will be like, he don't have no business being at home. I'm looking for the man to say it's okay for us to have our family with us because we're the only race that kick their children out even when they're doing good.
Not the only ones, whites. But go ahead.
Okay, I don't care about what white people are doing. I only care about what we're doing.
Now you sound like Dorian.
yeah, because you just said.
Okay. Black people and white people.
There you go.
Are the only people who kick their children out. But I'm looking for somebody who's okay with us still rearing our children beyond 18.
Oh yeah.
So I'm saying this, just to kind of be on a more sensible part of life, right? Or not so much sensible. This isn't sensible at all. So when we say date out of our comfort, would you be comfortable dating? I don't know. I never had this to happen, but would you date a guy that's on drugs?
No. But I know people who have mistakenly dated somebody that was on drugs because they didn't know they were hiding it well. And then when they found out the person was on drugs, it was hard to let them go because the love was there.
Yeah, because y'all know that we only 6 degrees from knowing a crackhead.
Yeah.
Because they all dress in regular clothes.
Now, yeah.
I mean...
you don't know that these things...
What that got to do with
I'm just saying...
You trying to do jokes on us?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Did it work?
No.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna start all over.
I want to say what Smith. Can you read what Mika Smith said?
Which one?
Therapy
is for people who have tried to work through their trauma, unspoken truth on their own and didn't do so well. They need tools to navigate through those things, whether it was childhood trauma, relationship trauma, grief of a loved one, etc., because they don't want to choose the bottle, pills, or other substances to numb the pain. To each his own. You know what? Shout out to my optometrist. Yesterday he told me that I need to start reading without my glasses if they're up close, and put my glasses on if I need to see far.
Come through. You see what I did? And guess what? I can read this.
I see what I did.
Can actually see this.
I want to be an eye doctor now.
So let me tell you my thing about therapists or people who go through therapy. I feel like they become more distant from people once they go through therapy.
I think they'd be more distant to the people that they've been around.
That might be
because those people bring hurt. You say what, Shani?
That may be the stage in life from where they need to be. Like separation is not always a bad thing. It's to help you.
No. I understand that, but what I'm saying is like you have to be a part of society, right? In some shape or form, right? But then they'll always exclude themselves out of situations where they probably most might be needed.
It's necessary.
And it's like, so if you went through this therapy, how can't you bring yourself in this position to make sure that the therapy is working? It's almost like driving. Like I'm gonna learn how to drive, but I go get my license, and then you never drive.
You think about an alcoholic, though.
We got a caller.
Okay.
Calling you there.
Good morning, at Ethan. How are you all doing?
Good morning.
Hey, so I am 52, so I've got some experience. So I'm just going to share that, and just listen, no judgment, as they say, I guess now. But so if I knew then what I know now, there's 3 things in my life that has helped me to stay a functional, not so toxic parent, and that's my priority every day. Being that I'm a single parent and also a caretaker of my near 90-year-old mother. And 2 adults and 1 teenager. So with those factors, I tell, these are the most important factors I've allowed in my life, and I look towards, or tools in my life. One was the counseling, but there is a little bit of a back history to that. The other is, of course, prayer, finding my spiritual journey and finding where I'm at in that. That was the biggest. Third is my traditional, because I'm Native American, and also seeking that in that sense of everyone has a regulating factor in their life. Mm-hmm. They have a natural system that they have to become in sync with, because as we know, this world of the colonized world is conditioned. Mm-hmm. So prior to the colonization, we each had our own innate ability and skill to be able to masterfully regulate ourselves, however that was. So if that's that spiritual being part. And then there's the other part, which I was talking about, the religious, being one with God and being able to worship and just kind of having that, because that's kind of the common ground, and that's something that is available in this conditioned world. I don't know if this is probably all confusing.
No.
And I apologize.
No, and I have a question. Do you think the therapy portion or the spirituality portion was most impactful?
Right.
That's where we're going to go. I'm glad you asked that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because in my earlier years, and it all comes down to I'm ADD. Had my counselors that I sought in my 20s and 30s had even considered that, I probably would have didn't have to worry about all the anti-depression medication that they would put me on, or depression medication. It was coming to find out that I was ADD, and I had to do my own research, and I was like, there's got to be something. And that's when I realized, because I had tried to work on my graduate work in counseling, and I had to break it down myself because I was getting the knowledge, and I had the tools to be able to do the research and figure out I need to connect the dots myself. And that's when I realized it is anxiety, because when I'm in certain situations, my ADD gets very triggered. Mm-hmm. So if your body stays in high anxiety state, your body has this natural ability to depress itself so that your body can functional, so it's not so toxic to yourself. Now, if you stay in that state, it stays depressed. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I had to learn all of this, but it was the Native American traditional part that helped me settle my spirit. Mm-hmm. Then it was going to honestly, it was actually going to church and finding that part. That's when I gave myself over to God. That was the second piece. Then when I had that whole piece together, I was then able to say, this is where I'm supposed to go. I'm asking these questions when I walk into the counselor's door. It's not depression. I do have anxiety. It's something else. It was finally someone God was able to put in my life, in my journey, to say, you know what, let's take a look at, you know what, you're right. It is ADD. Let's put you on the correct medication. That's when it all came together. So that whole time I went through probably a decade of multiple medications thinking, what is wrong with me? This is not working. They put me on, I must be totally backwards, but it even wasn't that. And not only that, sometimes certain counseling, you have to know the types of counseling because there's so many different ones. There's ones you don't want to see a psychiatrist because they're there just to medicate you. That's their only concern, to see how you're doing and the effects and the side effects. The counselor is the one you want to look for, but you want to look for the correct kind of counselor. There's cognitive therapy. There's so many different therapists out there. You have to do the work and do the research before you just step in and say, I want to see counseling.
I agree with that.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you,
Sorry,
Jen.
it's only thing.
No,
all right,
we appreciate, and like you said, we listen and we do not judge, and so we appreciate you sharing your story.
Yes, I just want to give somebody that little bit. Hopefully, it helps them to realize. Okay.
Absolutely.
It makes sense.
Okay. All right. Love y'all. Okay.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
And that's another thing I was going to get into. There's so many different types of therapy. It's not just a person sitting on the couch telling somebody their problems. And, there's a thing called the root. Right? When you get down to the root or the root of things, people will learn, maybe sitting here talking to, like, older men with gray hair when I was in high school, I ain't listened to. They kicked me out of school so many times. My mother got beat by a guy who had gray hair.
Right.
Gotcha. So I couldn't
relate to that.
I had a teacher, do you hear what I'm talking to you? And I was just looking at him straight face like, go to the console, and I went straight there. And then, so they was like, they put me in LD class and all that stuff before because I did not convey until one of my counselors was like, do you know Miles' history? You in his face yelling. His mother was abused by a man who looked like you. And you're in his face yelling, calling him stupid. You know what I mean? Those are things that this man told Miles as a child. So they had me in LD class for like 8 months. My teacher was like, did you see his credit score? I mean, his credit score. I wish. His test scores. No. His test
That's
scores.
not my phone.
That's hers.
But even
test
people
scores.
coming
You see his test scores? They're like, no, look at him. That boy is not what you think he is. And so that's another thing. So the type of therapy I probably needed at that time, you know what I mean, was me and my friend actually jumping on them later in life. You feel me? So, but at the same time, I didn't look at my mother and think of putting me in therapy because of that. Because when she found out, she was like,
but also, did you and your mother ever sit down and talk about the situation and how it was affecting to you?
No, because
and that is my point. A lot of times we don't have a safe space where people I'll bring it up at the table. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't hold it in, and I'm not going to talk to a stranger. My family, and I've lost a lot of family because of it, and it makes people uncomfortable, but we are going to iron these things out because it affects our family and our home.
And I get it, but I was able to tell my cousin because I don't know if you've seen somebody who have been got domestic violence. It's hard for them to talk about that.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And to see my mother hurt, I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, do you
so
miss
my
your
cousin
friends,
said,
like-
why are you getting kicked out of school so much? You know what I mean? Your mother need me to talk to you because normally he come just with my ass.
Right.
But now I'm older, so ass whoopers is thrown out of the play.
Right.
So he's like, tell me the truth, what's really going on?
Tell
and
me
then
the
when
truth.
I told him, I said, he reminded me of Bill. He's like, huh? So he knew how to communicate that to my mother.
Right.
Me telling my mother gonna look at like she failed me.
Right.
And then she going into this depression state or going into this situation like
or get upset or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she ain't gonna take it out on me. But to see my mother sad at any given time as me as a child wasn't on the table. And I knew how he made her feel. The mention of his name.
Right. So, like in situations like that, he was your counselor for that moment. You know.
Well, no, he was a person I was able just to say what was on my mind.
Right.
But he didn't have to counsel me about it. He just had to fix the situation at school.
I'm gonna get a therapist.
I mean, you might have to because sometimes
I don't. I just want to be like everybody else.
But that's cool. If you
no, it's not cool.
Yes, it is.
Because everybody's doing it, you shouldn't have to do it too.
Why do you bring it up?
I'm just saying because we keep talking about therapy every time we get on the subject.
Nope. Okay.
About dating outside of your comfort zone.
No, you brought it back up.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Just reading the comments, but anyway.
Yeah.
Dating outside the comfort zone.
She is talking.
Sorry, go ahead, Shane. I had to mute you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I see she passed about 3 minutes.
Oh gosh.
It's okay. I was asking you, Lake, do you vent to your friends?
Do I visit my friends?
Vent
to my friends? Yes.
Okay. I just want you to think about it like this. Your friends at one point were strangers that you grew to confide in and also, be familiar around. So that's why you pick a therapist that best suits you. I had a therapist before. He was personally a pastor, which kind of, was like a 2-for-1 situation. But really just making the best of your situation and not, feeling like you're going to a stranger to vent. But just, looking at it as maybe you'll get those tools to be able to help navigate through life a little better.
Right, but my friends don't send me a $2,500 bill.
That's true.
Yesterday, like, I'm starting to, when we talk about dating and things, like what I realize is when you're in a relationship and you're trying to get things going or whatever, in your relationship, you're building outside of your comfort zone. Sometimes we have to be quiet. Sometimes we can't express everything we need to express to somebody, especially when they're new and you're learning them. So I will call up a friend and say, hey, listen to me. Let me know if I am being out of line. Help me navigate through this because I really don't want to lose my person. I think a lot of times we need to understand change in ourselves, pray on it, talk to the right people about things, but it just doesn't have to be therapy. A lot of depression come in, people were talking about food, exercise, and this, that, and the other. I started lifting weights. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'll lift weights. And then people were like, well, what you need to do is cardio. No, I am doing what makes me happy. And my mind is clear and I'm thinking well because I knew I needed a source of something to make me feel differently. So between the books and the weightlifting, I'm starting to feel better about myself, my mental health. I'm starting to think clearer. You know what I'm saying? But I was able to identify what I need. And like people crazy than an MFer to say you don't need a vacation. I am paying for one now because you need vacations, you need vacations, you need an overnight getaway. Everybody needs a moment of clarity where they can just be alone or with their favorite person. That's what I think everybody needs. I think everybody needs that beyond freaking going to sit on somebody's couch. Take that $2,500 and go to Aruba.
Yeah, you guys coming in every day and venting on this show is a form of therapy.
No, and I've said that I've said that a lot of people don't have this opportunity. Like it is for me. It's absolutely a form of therapy. So maybe I am on the couch.
You are,
and everything I said
didn't even know it.
Like I've been rambling for no reason.
That's what.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
I appreciate hearing this topic because, listen, I believe that I've dated outside of my comfort zone a couple times. And, you know, honestly, just taking a moment to just think about the subject. I had a child dating outside of my comfort zone, and I'm blessed with my child. Mm-hmm. My second one was dating, you know, my fiance who passed away. He was a cop, and when I met him, he was not in the best position of like being looked at as a person, right? You know, and we dated, and things were wonderful. And although he passed, it taught me so much about myself. Right. So
I could now. I'll be honest. That takes a lot of bravery to date a cop. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I ever. That is probably one of the career paths that I don't know if I would date somebody, and not because of all the tabooism, if that's a word, that comes with being a cop. I have self-diagnosed myself with anxiety because I know I get nervous, and I couldn't imagine somebody going to work every day and putting their life on the line every day.
I mean, you put your life on the line every day.
And people say that, but it's different.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it's not.
Okay, to me, though, to me. Huh?
You just don't have a uniform on.
Right. But I also, when they call 911, I don't get the call.
And your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, whoever people dating, 9 times out of 10, they don't get the call neither.
Right, they don't get the call.
So it's
my dude was a surgeon, so he'll have to show up after everything was over.
What you saying, Chantel?
I said they not the emergency contact.
Right.
So, do you have a career path, or do you have a career that a person could be in that you would not date?
Yeah, porn star.
Really?
I want to date no porn star.
Yeah, I think that's gonna probably be for everybody. But even like for me, like with me doing a comedy, it's hard for some, and then I'm sure for some of almost a lot of women that are in entertainment fields that's on camera, it's hard to find a man who's, you know, not only comfortable with you doing this, but he's also like pushes you out, you know,
right,
like,
and
supportive. Yeah, that's the word I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah, that.
So it's kind of hard to find one in the two or whatever the case may be.
Well, let's find the 3 and the 4. What's going on March 2nd?
So on March 2nd, we have the Vagina Monologues. Thank you for bringing that all back.
She's lady number 2.
And yes, I will be playing lady number 2, which is, she's just basically just telling you a synopsis of the vagina and of all of these things. So I'm really excited. It's an amazing group of women coming together to put this play together. You'll see myself, you'll see Lake here with me, and along with man, I can't wait to see. I don't even know, honestly, everybody that's on the production.
Right.
So I'm so ecstatic about working with this project, and then also we'll have the Lifetime Achievement Award going out that night. And I'm excited.
So I'm looking at this right here when we're talking about Lifetime Achievement. Sean P. dropped off, or has it been here? Like, this is a Miles Dixon Lifetime Achievement Award. So for those of you who do not know, even though this man irritates my soul, irritates my soul. He has done some great work in the city of Detroit, and he keeps doing great work. And apparently, Sean P. acknowledged him for the Lifetime Achievement Award of 2024. So I do want to take a moment. Seriously, thank you. I thank you for this platform and therapy you have provided.
Yeah. Yeah, you were
so, an asshole.
When you got that award, everybody was so excited for you.
Yeah,
and that was really, really nice to see that not only was podcast members there, but he had so many people there who you would never had even, I didn't even know that they knew Miles.
Mm-hmm.
So that was so, and they were super, super happy to see that you got that. So I was
you.
too.
I really
So.
appreciate it.
So if put that on your shelf,
and I had to pay Shines.
You had to pay to get into the.
We talk about that.
But if you guys want to purchase tickets, you can buy them from me
or me.
Right, I'm putting my Cash App right
Don't
here.
buy
in
them
the,
from Shine.
Right,
buy them from us.
So if you guys want to attend the Vagina Monologues, like I say, is the stories that should be told.
Yes.
And listened to and heard, and then maybe we can all go to Honest John's or something afterwards.
Okay.
Because I like to eat.
Yes.
But how we doing on time?
We're about to get out of here.
We're about to get out of here.
So real fast, just y'all didn't tell me, but I'm gonna tell them. Please find me on all social medias under Renee Drake, RENEE Drake, just like the rapper that don't nobody like, but hey, that's for me and for you to find out on your own. Hey, and also
somebody asked who the lady in the green, and I just tagged you. I said that's at Renee Drake.
Renee Drake.
It's right there in here. So we can follow you on all platforms?
All platforms. I'm even at JP West coming up this Saturday, so come on in. And I'm every Wednesday at Mr. Map, so 1627, please come.
Mr. Map still open?
Yes.
They food still good?
Food is so good. Please come through.
Is it a comedy night?
Yes. Every Wednesday we do a late night comedy show starting at 10:30.
10:30?
10:30, yes. We start about 11 o'clock, and it's free to get in. We have free parking, and it's lit. And it's very well secure. Trust me.
I have a birthday coming up on March 11th, so you may just see me there on March 12th.
Okay, then. Yes, that would be honestly a great day to come in. We're doing something new that day. So that would honestly.
They got great food there.
Yes.
Right in the hood.
Yes, I was hoping Tiffany Haddish would have came up in there when she was here.
Did y'all invite her?
Not really, but I was just hoping. I was just hoping the word got through. Who doesn't like good chicken?
What did you say, Shannon?
I said wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking, you feel me? You gotta think big.
Yes.
Think big, bitch.
The time on the Vagina Monologues this Sunday is at 3 p.m. Doors open at 2:30.
Yes.
If you send me the money, I will put your name on the list.
Yes.
Oh, Sean like to eat too. Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, that would be nice. But Sean's having a comedy show right after that.
Yep.
So
you in a comedy show?
Yeah, he don't know it, but I'm gonna take over and be the host.
Yeah,
that works.
Why not? I'm gonna already be there.
So we thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next Tuesday, and they will be here tomorrow on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Thank you so much for coming, Miss
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Shani, we love you.
Love you.
And I missed your face in person. I'll see you later. Tune in the stream at 1:15 p.m. We will be interviewing the cast of Blind Trust. Goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye. Bye. Peace.
Monday through Friday, great conversation, guest appearances.